Hey everybody, it's SmallgGay. I was not able to access Blog Talk Radio this evening to pre-format the show and schedule it and everything. I don't know what's going on. I tried every other site that I usually use and I'm able to use it. But for some reason I wasn't able to access Blog Talk. I tried it my usual way. I tried looking it up on my usual browser deal or whatever you call it. I'm so computer illiterate, and yet I'm a star. And then I tried accessing it through a link to the last episode I did, the brilliant episode I did. You know what tonight's episode is going to be called? SmallgGay's Never Worked a Day in His Life. That was going to be the title. So instead what I've decided to do is prepare 3 vlogs for you where a episode should be. You can always put my vlogs where your heart ought to be. Unfortunately, I can't respond to you on the program like I so enjoy doing, responding to your tweets. But, we'll just have to make do with the situation. This is Florence Henderson. I'm going to try to divide this into 3 topics or 3 segments. That'll be fairly neat and organized also for people who happen to just come along each one as usual on the SmallgGay channel on YouTube. So we'll start out with this one, a tribute to mothers. The biggest mother of them all. No, I'm not talking about Joan Crawford. I'm talking about Mrs. Brady. Carol Brady. That was a Brady brood. This Ann Romney thing is not going away. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on this one. I'm going to talk also a little bit about how some people don't seem to get this. Surprisingly, on the right, there are a few people that don't seem to get what is happening. I want to talk about that. First of all, this whole situation is not going away. Bruce Majors, the wonderful divine, Bruce Majors posted a video that he made today wherein he walked from Hillary Rosen's house to Jay Carney's house and talked while he traveled within the 10-minute video, walking by foot. How Jay Carney's wife is friends with Hillary Rosen, that they go to parties together, that their children, that they go to various parties in the neighborhood together, and he was feigning that he didn't know who Hillary Rosen was when they were talking about her frequent visits to the White House. And it shows how it's a total lie and how they live in the same neck of the woods, as you put it, Mr. Babcock. Also, of interest is we get a little tour of what this certain kind of left-wing social class, their little digs, and it's, as Bruce calls it, lily white. And he talks about how it's very common for these extreme leftists to live in very kind of what some would call racist neighborhoods that are exclusively white. But we don't have to forget that the Democrats were against segregation for the most part until they made a few deals. So the whole thing is quite interesting. I don't think that it's going to go away. I think that this Rosen thing is just beginning. And I think that it's a pathetic situation. You know, I was talking with Provisionist today. I hope she doesn't mind me blabbing. She talked about how this whole issue is so dead in the water, that it's so yesterday that they're forced to go back to this thing about women working outside the home. Yeah, it is tired. It is old news, and they don't have anything new. You know, I'm imagining them burning bras by August. They can't go any further, and it is a rehash. However, I think that it is important because it is so revealing, and it's as embarrassing as the bitter clingers stuff. Um, clinging to God and guns and their religion, how they cling to that because they get a little bitter. It's on the order of that, except possibly even more in a post-Palin world, and there can be very little doubt that the Democrat Party and their leftist media hacks do not think very highly of, for lack of a better word, housewives. They don't think highly. And this is the thing that is so amusing about this whole dynamic, because here they are running around, pandering away, trying to get the women's vote, but they can't help but insult the very people that they're trying to get to vote for them. And it's just too damn good to be real. Now let's talk a little bit about the people that don't quite understand this, because I read Matt Lewis at the Daily Caller today, maybe it was yesterday, where he was talking about how this was not something we should pursue, and he was talking about how it's identity politics, and this is how they act. Ann Coulter has spoken that way, not necessarily about this case, about the Rosen case, but she has spoken out about the Trayvon Martin case like that. And again, they don't seem to understand. We are using Alinsky tactics against the left. In other words, we are holding them up to their own standards and finding them to be horrible hypocrites, complete liars, and completely compromised. This is what we're doing. Now, you could say, well, they use that against us. Yes, they use that against all of their foes. But what they've done, one of the reasons how the left took down the right is Alinsky. And what they did was they systemically went after the family, religion, entertainment, everything decent in society has been systemically, by the left. The church are all hypocrites. They're all pedophiles. The family, they're all molesting the children or beating the children, and they're all drunk and fighting, and they're all going to get divorced, and the man is horrible to the woman, and the children are all unhappy, and everybody's better off separated. All of these kinds of, and we've seen it in television, where they're constantly, the woman is always rewarded for leaving the man, and it's just an endless array. So they've used the Christian values, the conservative values, by trying to make it as if all of us are hypocrites, right? And that this is just it's all a joke and it's all a lie. So we're doing that Alinsky tactic and holding them up to their standards, and we're proving that they are the most racist, the most sexist, and soon, hopefully, I would love to have a part in it, the most homophobic people on earth. Okay? This is not about getting everyone to go along with a leftist, feminist, standard. This is about pointing up their hypocrisy. I suggest anyone who doesn't understand this to read Mr. Andrew Breitbart's brilliant book, and understand where this is coming from, because I think a lot of people are really, really confused about it. And surprisingly, you guys have got to keep up. You got to keep up with what's going on, everybody. So anyway, that's my first vlog. Poor Carol Brady. Don't you just love Florence Henderson? She was one of the hosts of the Today Show. Apparently, she had the journalistic gravitas that Bryant Gumbel so requires. You know, when Bryant Gumbel was knocking Sarah Palin for appearing on the Today Show, I forgot to mention, remember, this is the man who gave America Deborah Norville. That was his idea of the ultimate in journalism. I have no offense to Deborah Norville. She's a lovely woman, and I'm happy to hear that she's had. I think that she's had her own career independent of the Today Show now for some time. So, more power to her. But take it all with a grain of salt. And wasn't that the first time you've heard from Bryant Gumbel in, like, I don't know, 40 years? Because that's he's just trying to chime in on Palin and get a little free press. That's what they all do. Can you guys believe that Roseanne hasn't chimed in yet on this whole, housewife gate, or however you want to put it, stay-at-home mom gate? Needs something less unwieldy. Can you believe it? I'm going to be back sooner than later with another vlog. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.